Welcome to the Beard Me That Beard podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to episode number 19. COVID-19.
We made it. We made it.
I'm feeling great right now because it's fucking hot and I got lukewarm beer.
Me too. All right, little peek behind the curtain. We've been trying to set this up for at least half an hour.
Oh, dude, an hour.
I was being generous, but it's been, yeah. We went through multiple conference apps. We did your Skypes. We did your Google Hangouts. It just wasn't working, so we just had to resort to a regular old phone.
Yeah, now I'm just watching my screen and Logic recording, and I don't see Sam.
And I am just trying to stare in the general direction of where I think he's going to be.
I mean, I'm just looking at the screen.
I don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm just watching recording, I guess.
Perfect.
But yeah, so, yeah, thanks a lot, Internet.
Yeah?
The Internet was weak, dude. It was all the Internet. I mean, we've done this 3 other times and never had that much of a problem.
Yeah. I blame the Internet.
Yeah, me too. Also, everyone's home, so it's about time that, these companies start throttling us a little bit.
So good.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm on fire. It is also hot here.
Sam has a fan on while we're recording this, and I turned mine off. I turned mine off because I wanted a good recording.
And I don't care, because this is freaking uncomfortable.
And I'm dying right now.
That's great.
My sunglasses are fogging.
You should turn your fan on.
No, my fan's like an industrial one, so it's going to be really loud.
I would bring mine on camera so you could see what I'm working with, but it is not an oscillating fan. It is a little heavier duty than that.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we're going to get through this just like every other episode and like everyone right now. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy, and please practice social distancing. Please listen to the experts and just make sure we can get through this as long as you follow the adults' orders.
Just don't start injecting yourself with bleach or whatever that's all about. But
yeah,
you get it.
Yeah,
just be safe, be home when you can.
We will get through this. Yeah, it's bad. No one could have ever probably predicted that this would happen. I mean, even though some people did predict it would happen and that we were not ready, and they were right. But we just got to get through this. If you're going to protest, just protest 6 feet apart, please.
And from home.
Please, you fucking idiots. I'm all for protesting whatever the fuck you want. That's your right. But you are putting other people's health and safety when you aren't practicing safe social distancing, you assholes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching a bunch of videos this morning about all this shit, so I'm fired. I'm fired up.
Yeah, I was playing some video games. So
I whipped out Pokemon X, and I was playing that like around 2 o'clock, so that was fun.
I told David recently that I recently rediscovered my N64, so I've been playing some stuff on there. So that's been fun.
I am jealous. Super jelly.
All right. Well, you want to get into the brews?
Yeah. I am drinking, once again, Protector Brewing from San Diego, California, because I got a bunch of beer delivered. This is their Citra Juicy Double IPA, 8%, which is to me a very light double IPA, and I can't really taste it as a double. It's strong, it's bitter, but not like overwhelming. But yeah, it's got it's organic. It's Citra and Mosaic hops, superior Pilsen malt and rolled oats, and a juice yeast strain.
A juice yeast?
I think that's what they're describing the yeast as, because yeast, wherever yeast you use, has a flavor that actually kind of tricks your mind into thinking that it's this flavor. So this yeast, I'm assuming, kind of like when you're drinking orange juice or mango juice, that kind of like not watery, not thick kind of flavor. But some will give you a banana flavor, and you'll taste bananas, but there's no bananas in it. It's just the yeast.
I don't know. When I hear juice, I don't think yeast. That sounds rancid to me. I think citrus.
It's funny, like yeast, and I learned this. Yeast is fucking everywhere. It's on you all the time. It's in the air. It's on everything all the time. There's like yeast everywhere. And that's how beer was like kind of, fermented for the longest time. You just leave it open and the yeast, wherever you were, would do it for you.
So what you're saying is yeast is like midi-chlorians.
No, because midi-chlorians aren't real.
What?
Midi-chlorians aren't real.
But it's like the same thing.
I think midi-chlorians measure your force sensibility, and yeast just makes beer.
No, but they make up everything.
I didn't say they make up everything. I said they're everywhere.
Everything is everywhere.
All the time, everywhere.
Yeah. Okay, well, cool, man.
What are you drinking?
Cool, with your held over protector. So, surprisingly, I still haven't gone out for beer. And surprisingly, I still have one. I haven't had one yet on the show. Or at least since we've been doing this. I have from Pizza Port. The Swami's IPA.
Swami's.
Yeah.
There was a protest at that
hot.
beach today.
Really?
Yeah, and a couple people got arrested.
That's cool. Oh man. Oh, this looks frothy.
Swami's IPA is super delicious because it lacks like a normal bitterness that I enjoy greatly.
It's yeah. It's tame for an IPA.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's a lighter version of what we're used to in San Diego.
I mean, it's still an IPA, so there is some of that,
Yeah, bitterness, but I feel like it's way more refreshing than most.
It's definitely not as bitter.
Which you hate.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll keep the bitterness in my personality. I don't need
you
to
actually
ingest
are
it.
a very bitter person. Not.
I can be pretty bitter.
I'll show you bitter.
I would have to see first.
Yeah, this is the first time where we aren't actually seeing each other, so it's a bit weird.
I can hear your facial expressions. So.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
That was not what I was gonna do.
I can see all obstacles in my way.
That's great. Are we gonna get like slapped for that? I was like, no, that's probably about as long as we can
No,
get away.
because it was just the line, and we were commentating on a joke, not the whole. We weren't playing.
We were reviewing it.
Yeah, that's a great song that they used in the movie Ants, but it's a great song no matter what.
You know what? You know how I know that song? There was like an infomercial back in the 90s, like late night, where it was like a compilation CD. And that was about the only part of that song I would hear. And they would play that ad like every other commercial.
We have the best songs from the 80s.
Yeah, it was like
top 20. Have them in your 2-disc collection with artwork. Call right now.
It was just so random, but like they played it all the time. All right.
That's hilarious.
I thought so.
Sounds like you just drank some beer. How was it?
I mean, like, it's beer. Oh.
Beer is beer.
Beer is beer.
And I'm going to drink it.
Yeah.
Let's dive into this week's A Conscious Rethink topic.
All right. This is another in our Conscious Rethink series.
Number four.
All right. We'll see how this goes.
And yeah, Sam is not looking forward to this at all.
Well, I mean, like, it's fine.
We
definitely got out there last week.
This is the worst day for him.
It's it's just like a combination of factors. I'm doing all
You
right.
hate this. You hate this. You hate this.
Let's just go. Let's go, man. I'm ready
Let's
after
do this, bro.
I'm ready
Let's
after
go.
last week. It was weird last week.
Last week was awesome
That was
because I felt like we
bizarre.
got way more personal, and
No.
I think people will appreciate that.
I was telling a friend this, but I feel like people that know us know we're stupid, but like I feel like that we're like surface level stupid, but the way we talked last week, it was like, oh, they're deeply stupid, like inside.
It's just our opinion. No one knows exactly how the world is going.
No, now it's like they know my soul is stupid.
You have a beautiful soul, and if anyone tells you it's stupid, tell me and I'll find them.
Why?
Shammy.
Yeah, shut up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this.
This week's topic is belief systems.
Don't care for this, but not to say I don't care for anybody's beliefs, but I don't care to talk about this.
And we might find out why.
It's fine. Let's go.
All right. The first question, and this is you're gonna hate this question for sure. Why do you believe what you believe to be true?
Why do I believe?
What you believe to be true.
Because
Well, you gotta. What do you believe?
I mean, like that is such a general question. Like, what do you, like? Do I believe like in Santa Claus or like
in your belief system?
belief Navidad?
That would be a really good like acoustic Christmas album.
Belief Navidad. Well, no. What do you mean?
What do you? I mean, we're talking about beliefs. Oh, sorry. Let me read the little thing. A large part of psychology, and one that deserves its own section, are the beliefs that we hold so dear. So it's talking about religion. This includes religion, political views, logical beliefs, and pretty much anything that requires you to have faith. So that's three things they gave us: religion, political, and logical. Why do you believe what you believe to be true? Now, this question sounds very generic to me, but I think it's mostly asking about the process of how we determine something to be our belief.
Do you have an answer?
It's a vague answer because, for the most part, I don't believe, when it comes to religion, I don't believe in a God. I don't think there's a being or but I also am kind of for that belief that science and religion are more I feel like every year they're merging more into the same thing where religion just views it as a superior power, a power above them. But in science, it could be the same thing. It's just a cosmic energy or the Big Bang, just boom. It just happened, which, that's fine if you describe it a certain way. At the end of the day, I hope one day as a human race we'll find out the truth. When it comes to political views, I just don't care for politicians. I don't care for how the system runs anymore. Growing up as a little kid, you're told, democracy is great. We're not even a real democracy. It's not that great because lobbying is a real thing that's allowed, which shouldn't be allowed. And the electoral college should be, disbanded because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And then logical beliefs. I think I'm a very logical person. I'm very straightforward, black and white. And it just works for me because it just makes things easier. So that's why.
Okay, but how and why did you come to that conclusion?
I guess just growing up. I mean, last week we talked a little bit about kind of religion and that I grew up in a house that was Catholic a little bit and then Jehovah's Witness a little bit. And then I got to the point where it's like, I just don't think it matters. And I just it's not for me. There's going to church every Sunday is not going to do anything for me. Doesn't make me feel anything. But it makes my mother feel something, and that's her. And now it's more like, oh, maybe this power may be connected to religion, but I just don't see it as a religion because I feel like religion is very flawed when it comes to like the terrible things that are in the Bible. And I feel like not every single person that is involved in religion, but I feel like it closes off a lot of people to a lot of open-mindedness and like the future of us getting better as people overall.
Okay. Well, that, if that's what you know.
Yeah, I feel like it would be mostly because of how I grew up and how it comes from that nurture.
The nature versus nurture.
Yeah, it comes from how if you had a great childhood with religious parents and religion was part of your life, but in a good way, then cool. Then you probably believe in it a lot more than anyone else. But if it kind of just felt like you were never given a chance in life, or why would God do this to people? There's a famous English actor, I forget his name.
What's he in?
He was on Top Gear, but he like once in a interview, someone asked him, "Oh, if God was real, what's the first thing you would say to him?" And he said, "I would just be like, how dare you? How dare you give children cancer when they're born? Like, why would you do that? They haven't done anything wrong. They were born and now they have the cancer or some disease." And then, but it kind of like, it's shitty to do things to people that have just come into this world and now they're like, hey, here's some cancer for you to deal with.
Yeah, well, it's just something in the world.
How about you, buddy?
So, like I had mentioned last week, I grew up in a Christian household. Growing up, like my family, we would do like the Sunday school kind of thing. And I just kind of, for a long time, kind of just go through the motions because that was like what I was raised with. And like my parents were into it, I'd go. So like, all right, I'll say in the bigger picture, I would say I do believe in the religion thing, but I know it's I see it more as like a tool rather than just like let me see, how do I convey this? So people, they're going to be shitty people wherever you go, and religion is like, that's not excluded. There are shitty people that believe in stuff, like sometimes the same things that maybe you or someone would, and it's probably not like the best reflection of a thing, but if you are a person who struggles with stuff and religion is something that you find kind of helps give you guidance, gives you more perspective, helps you to be a better person, then that's a good thing. But you shouldn't be so I don't have any business preaching about that to anybody because I'm not perfect either, but I'll just say if you can find something positive in it to take away for yourself, you should go all in on it. But like religion, science, it's all I feel like it's like kind of two sides of the same coin depending on how you view it. It's just one way to explain things that you probably can't explain yourself.
Yeah, and not yet.
Yeah. But it's like it's just I don't even know how to.
I did like how you described it as a tool, and you didn't mean it in a bad way. It could be like you said, hey, make yourself a better person every day. Your support, your motivation,
and that's
awesome,
right? And
but you did also say shitty people.
Well, they're because like you could go to church and be a shit person, or you could go to church and be a good person. I'm just saying, like, or your temple, or wherever it is you practice, or whatever it is you believe in. I'm just saying there are bad eggs everywhere.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And some of these eggs are very good at using this tool.
Yeah, like they could do everything by the book, but they could just be using it to like serve a different
A monetary purpose
motive
or
or
a
whatever.
selfish purpose.
Yeah, well, I feel like if you're using religion as a way to, I guess, what am I trying to say? Being selfish and religious is probably like, are you really believing in the thing that you're saying you're believing in, or are you just trying to use it as like a stepping stone to get to stuff?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that
Yeah.
too. And when we say religion, that's everything. We're not trying to be like, yo, Christianity or Catholic.
No, just
It's everything. To me, religion encompasses all those beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but there's probably so much more you could say about the thing, but I'll just leave it at that for now, because
Yeah. No, I think I understood you.
yeah.
Okay, question 2. Why does religion play such a big role in the lives of so many people? I think ultimately it goes back to the nurture nature thing.
Mm-hmm.
If it's part of you when you're growing,
Mm-hmm.
then it, like good or bad,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be part of your life.
Right.
That being said, when you're older, I feel like you have that second growing up.
Mm-hmm. When
When you're an adult, like 25, 26, you kind of like, wow, adulthood is shitty.
Mm-hmm.
And then you figure out that second level. And then even further, 35, 45, I feel like you will keep hitting this level of, you realize what's more important, what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it just starts as like, hey, religion has been around for thousands of years.
Right. No, that's definitely a big factor, I would say. Because what would it be? I would say, well, even probably would say longer than that. So like probably, I would think science is. Like the pursuit and practice of science is probably a little more of a recent development over just how long religion has been a part of just like, the human experience. And it was just like I was saying, it was like just a way to explain things before people started asking like
What, like
those
the
kind of
science of
questions.
how can you explain it?
Yeah, before someone decided to
show
take
me
up that
proof.
view. Yeah. But like it being a part of people's lives for so long, like it just goes through generations, and people are like groomed from a young age. I don't know if I would say groomed, but they grow up around the stuff. So
They're more. There's a word for it where they absorb more from what their surroundings.
yeah. But if you're just around it for a long time, could have something to do.
And religion is huge. It's everywhere. You don't go somewhere and there's no religion. It's everywhere, and that's people's beliefs and rights, and they can believe whatever they want.
If you go to a place and there's no religion, it just means there's no people. It's everywhere. Just any
And okay, question 3 is gonna also include if this is a religion or not. Question 3 is atheism a form of religion?
Well, I guess define religion.
Yeah, and I think what they're trying to say is a belief in nothing, a religion.
Well, yeah, I would say religion equates to just a belief. So if you have a belief in nothing, then it is a belief. So I would say.
But would me believing in myself be a religion? I'm not trying to disagree with you. I'm just trying to you can't just say that, because that would be an argument.
Well, everything's a potential argument.
I don't think atheism is a form of religion. But I feel like there's certain levels of atheism where people are so fucking devoted and like so deep into it where it feels like a religion.
Yeah. I mean, like some people, like I can guarantee there's probably like millions of people out there that are just not like, I guess I would say like spiritually focused in that way. So like they probably just don't even think about it. So you could have that kind of atheist, whereas it could just be like another person who's just like, no, I refuse to believe any of this. I'm just not gonna. Which is I mean, they would fall under the same blanket term, but I don't know if I would necessarily lump them into the same.
Yeah, I mean it. Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, I don't believe in anything. Cool. Hey, no, I don't believe in anything, and here are the reasons, and here I'm going to debunk every religion. I feel like they're so into it that it's such a more a religion-y thing where they have a book, and here's why. And then there's people who just like, no, I don't believe in anything. Okay, where they're calm and collective.
Yeah, well, you have your fanatics everywhere too, I guess. So
yeah, right. That's a good way of saying it. Fanatics.
Maybe calling it a religion wouldn't be necessarily accurate. Maybe you could just call it a group.
Yeah, and then again, it's like the same umbrella. But I feel like even in like with Catholics and Christians, they have levels of their umbrella too. Because some people are like, yeah, I believe in it, but right now, I'm not going to donate money because I need money because I lost my job. Mm-hmm. Versus like, oh, I have to donate because the church needs it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
or I have to go to Easter Sunday service or I don't.
You're going to have varying levels of commitment between any group of people. Like some people...
Yes.
Some people could like totally buy in, be 1,000% supportive and just give everything. And other people could just be more casual.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, I'll do the once a week thing. I'll show up. But it's just it's like, people are different.
Yeah, and it goes back to that nature nurture.
It definitely has something to do with it.
All right, question 4.
I would also pose it could just be I don't know, maybe you're afraid of what happens after you die. That could be motivation for something.
Yeah, no, and that's back to motivation. Like, hey, I need that heaven exists, and I need to get there. So I need to be good and go to church and support the church and also be a good person. But then there's also levels of that.
I feel like
hey, the more money I donate, maybe I buy my way into.
I feel like motivation has a lot to do with how invested a person is into a thing. So maybe they're super invested in that because they're like, oh man, I really am. This afterlife thing freaks me out, and I really want to make sure I'm good for that. Whereas other people could be like, well, I care about the people around me, so I think it would be.
It would behoove me to take care of them.
It would be in my best interest to spend my energy doing that rather than the other.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
All right. Question 4. Should we look after our own well-being, or should we all look after each other?
Well, I'll say if you are unable to take care of yourself, you shouldn't be looking out to other people if you haven't figured that out yet. So, I would think yourself should be a priority.
I would say we should look out after each other, but the human race is so fucking greedy that it's impossible.
Right?
We could in our lifetime and your sons or grandchildren's lifetime, we would never get there. But I hope in the next 1,000 years they do get there because it would be beneficial. I don't look after each other people. my close friends maybe, but for the most part, I'm looking after my wife and our dog, and that's about it. But if a close friend needs help and they ask, yeah, I'm gonna help them.
Right.
But I'm not gonna, hey, they need a volunteer, especially, and I feel like right now they need volunteers at hospital, or like, hey, we just need masks. Like, I'm not gonna go learn how to make a mask. One, I fucking wouldn't. I have no knowledge of that, and I'm not good at that shit. I've tried sewing. I've tried sewing so many times and just not good at it, but I'm not gonna go learn and do it.
Right. Well, that's why I was saying, like, I would say you should. It never hurts to be a little selfless, but like if you're unable to take care of yourself and like your immediates, like, you're the priority. Like,
Yeah.
bare minimum, you should be able to meet the requirements of what it takes to just sustain.
That's why when the airplane is falling down and those masks fall down, put them on you first and then help your child. Because your child won't be able to help you.
I mean, unless you have a smart kid, or if you're just if you have an older child. But yeah.
I mean,
I see your point.
Yeah, that's why it says cover your mask first. And Sam says selfless. Like I for some reason can't get over that. I just don't believe in selflessness. I feel like people do things because it makes them feel better, and that's not true selflessness. But it is cool to feel good when you help people. That's totally okay.
Yeah.
Like I went and bought a bunch of fucking Girl Scout cookies, and I know it's supporting them because their fucking cookies are delicious, but it's also nice that it's helping their programs.
Well,
anything else?
I think that's about all I got on that.
Just be a good person, and if you can help.
Yeah, I mean, like, do what you can, if you can.
Obviously, right now it's something that we never thought we'd be in, but everything helps. All right, question 5. Do you believe that man is inherently good? I would say man is inherently neutral, but because of social construct, we have this sense that we have to be good. Because I'm talking like, hey, when we first walked, it was survival of the fittest, and it didn't matter. But now it is survival of the fittest, but it's also not, because we're so comfortable and we have like a livelihood that we can go around with. And it's not like, hey, you have to gather all the resources you can or you're going to die.
Jeez.
Now it's like, hey, I can go to the store and grab my food. But now it's just like, I think we have been like growing up, hey, you have to be a good person or a better person. Not everyone is a good person or a better person, but I don't think we're inherently good. I think we're inherently survivalists, and good and bad is just, as we're taught, good and bad is this or that. It's what we're shown, and in the bizarro world, good and bad are opposite.
It's all relative.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think you make a good point. I would say I think people at least start out neutral, but I think like you have to be shown what good and bad is before you lean one way over the other.
And I would take it a little step further and say what's acceptable and not acceptable, because if, God forbid, you're in a household where domestic violence is a thing, you're shown that at an early age, and then you're used to it. So you think that's what you should do too.
Right.
But sometimes you're like, no, that's not right. And I don't want to be that.
Yeah. Well, I will go as far as to say I think good and bad are things that are taught to be.
Yeah. Yes.
One
exactly.
or the other. Yeah. But I mean, why wouldn't you try to be like someone you're around growing up if in your eyes it's someone you look up to, or be the opposite of if it's someone that you aren't so fond of.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, even the cases like, no, that's what I've been taught, and I'm going to be that person, good or bad.
Right.
All right, question 6.
Okay.
Have you ever changed your mind and stopped believing something that you once strongly believed in, and why?
Let me see. I would say I wouldn't say anything like very major, although I would not be opposed to changing my thoughts on something if I was presented with evidence that I agreed with.
How about anything minor then?
Anything minor?
Yeah, just so we can get like the flow of it, like what went through your mind.
You mean like Santa Claus or?
No, because that just the nurture thing. You grew out of it.
No, I didn't. I was shown that Santa Claus was not a thing because I would sleep by the tree, and then
with my eyes open,
and when I inevitably would see my parents come and set the presents down, I'd be like, "Oh,"
and hit me with a hammer,
yeah,
and knock me out.
But yeah, like I can't even. Nothing even really comes to mind right now.
I mean, to me, I think it's more of this. My example is more like, oh, where you were just a child and you didn't actually know how the world works. It's like our way of how we vote, and how we are represented is I don't think the right way, because not every single person's vote makes a difference. Because it's just the majority, and then the majority wins. Like the electoral college. Oh wait, so the red won. Cool, the red gets all the votes, even though it was 57 to 43. Like, what? Where does that math work? And it's just to keep control of us. But But I was young when I was like, oh, we learn about government and how it works, and then 6 years later, I'm like, oh, it doesn't fucking matter if I vote because someone else is voting for me.
Well, even just like setting that example aside, like I would say the more educated you get about a certain thing, the more let me see, the more open you are to change. So say it's like something you just took as like the truth for like the longest time, but you didn't really learn much about it going into it. I figure the more you learn about it, the more liable you are to change. So
I will argue that though, because some people aren't even open to being educated.
Well, then that's not benefiting anybody.
Like I saw this a fucking montage of people talking to Trump supporters, and like a couple of the it was the same lady talking to this other lady, and then this lady said, oh, if you saw a video of Trump smoking crack cocaine, would you vote for him? And she said, absolutely. And then like the questions just got worse, like, and she's like, yeah, I'm gonna vote for him. So it's like, well, why? If he's breaking the law.
Well, I'll say it doesn't apply to everybody, because some people are just set in their ways, and you have to be open-minded if you want to make yourself open to change. So that's what I'll say. But no, there are definitely stubborn people out there that just like they are rock solid.
That's beyond stubbornness, though.
No,
really?
It's branches on the same tree.
I mean, dumb fuck and stubbornness are very far from me.
It's the equivalent of a pouting kid in the corner that like you told them, we're like, no, you shouldn't, you can't do that, and they don't want to give up a thing. There are people out there.
Yes, they are children.
I mean,
they are children.
David, there are plenty of people out there that do not see things the same way we do.
Oh, it doesn't matter about how you see them. It just, see both sides before you make a dumbass comment like that.
I'm just saying, like, that's an opinion. There are people out there. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I know they are.
Yeah, and it's as frustrating as it may be, that is definitely something that, people have to deal with.
Oh, I don't have to deal with it.
Well,
I'm good.
I mean, because you're stubborn. Because you're stubborn and you won't hear that.
No, I mean, what do I have to deal with? It's their beliefs, and that's good.
Yeah.
All right, question 7. Do you believe intelligent life exists beyond this planet?
Wow, this went from
I know this went
spiritual
from planet
to science
Earth
fiction.
to 3 million miles away.
Yeah. The universe is a big place. Maybe.
We need a definitive answer.
Definitive?
Yes or no?
Well, then an alien better come down right now and land in my yard, because...
You sound very close-minded.
Really? Yeah. No. Like I said, it's a big place. I'm hopeful that there would... Well, I mean, not hopeful, but I would speculate that there's probably something out there.
I feel like you're saying that we're not alone, but we probably will never see it in our lifetime.
I feel like that's what you're projecting.
No, I think we're going to see it within our lifetime.
I don't know. I'm open. I'm open to the thought. It's just like I haven't seen it.
I am very open to the thought because I've had experiences.
Oh, story time.
I could do a story time.
Story time.
I can do a story. Yeah, I can do a quick one. It's not crazy, but it happened all the time. And I was, this was before me and Sam really knew each other. And I was living in San Marcos, California.
Oh, is this that story? I think I remember you telling me this one.
Do you?
Well, let's see when you get into it.
Okay, so we lived in a condo really close to the high school that I went to. Mm-hmm. But I believe this was before I even went to high school. I think this was middle school. And me and my dad shared the master bedroom. But my father, he would work nights a lot and would never be there. But when I would sleep, I would wake up, but not wake up all the way. And it wasn't that like, oh, I'm sleep paralysis. No, I was like awake, but I just didn't have the, like, I'm not going to get up. Like, oh, I'm too tired to deal with this shit. But I would hear something out of the window on our patio. And it sounded like it was a helicopter, but right next to our window. And it was fucking loud. Not quiet. Really loud. And as the years got on, like, you know, my parents divorced and my mom took that bedroom and I went to another bedroom, a smaller bedroom in the same household, and I stopped hearing it. And for the longest time, it was like I never knew what that was. But there was actually a police department there that had a helicopter pad. But I literally, as you know, a 14-year-old, 12-year-old, I felt like it was right there, and I could see light and headlights and fucking the wind and everything right outside my window. And then when I got older, it was like, oh, I can hear the helicopter, but it's so far away. And Sam knows where I live, and the police department was close, but not like the helicopter would come over my house close, because it would go over probably like almost a mile away from us. So I always thought, like, you know, oh, maybe it didn't happen every night too. So it only happened like once a month, maybe twice a month. And there was always this weird feeling. And yeah, that's my story.
Okay. All right. Okay. Maybe it wasn't the story I was thinking.
What was the story you're thinking of?
I guess it would be more paranormal rather than.
Oh yeah, my dad's house.
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe another episode we'll come back to that.
Yeah, that one's more paranormal.
Yeah. Well, that could be another subject, but we'll see.
Oh, that could.
Okay, but yeah, so you would say it's just a matter of time.
I would say, yeah, it's just a matter of time, and honestly, it might be. You know, I've seen videos where it's like multiple theories about alien life. Like, oh, there is alien life, but we're so far apart. Mm-hmm. Or there is alien life, and they are waiting for us to be at a certain intelligence to understand, because we just like blowing things up as humans. Mm-hmm. We're not, you know. Or we are the most intelligent race right now, and we are the alien life to go visit other alien life. So, multiple theories, but I really hope someday we get that.
Well, cool.
What? And you said you're not hopeful, but you're not opposed to the idea that
I wouldn't say I'm not hopeful, but I'm like I'll see it when I believe it kind of thing. But I definitely
agnostic
about space life. Maybe no.
I mean,
like
technically, there is already proof because there is bacteria on Mars. That's alien life.
But isn't it like dead bacteria?
I mean, but it was there.
It was there.
But that's alien life. At some point, there was alien life there.
Yeah, but it's alien death now.
Yeah, that's fine. But
there was.
At one point, it was there.
Well, at one point doesn't cut it for me. So.
At one point doesn't cut. Okay. That's like saying you don't believe in mummies.
I mean,
because they're dead.
I believe that they were alive.
Okay. Do you believe the bacteria was alive?
What?
Do you believe bacteria on Mars was alive?
I mean, I didn't see it.
But do you believe that it was?
What?
Do you believe that there was bacteria on Mars that was alive before whenever?
I believe there was stuff on Mars.
That was alive.
Maybe. Who knows?
It's a real yes or no question, dude.
Can't put myself in a box.
No gray area in that.
Can't put myself in a box, man. Who knows? Maybe
it's yes or no.
Maybe that's where we came from. I don't know.
What movie was that? Red Planet or
wow,
or the face was on Mars.
Yeah, that's a callback to something.
Oh God, yeah. And the black guy, like, I survived here for so long, and he like had plants alive, and they supply me with oxygen. That's a good movie. Yeah, Red Planet, I think.
You mean Rocket Man?
I got the whole world in my hand. Dude, I fucking love that movie. Anytime it was on Disney Channel, dude, you gotta watch that.
I just remember where he farted in the suit, so.
It wasn't me.
Stupid.
I think it was Julie.
Terrible. All right.
That movie is so wrong in so many ways, but
yeah,
good movie. All right, question 8.
Okay.
We're coming back to Earth. Does the government have too much or too little say over the way we live our lives?
What do you think? Any ideas?
I mean, I have my answer, but you said let me think.
Oh, no.
Did you want me to talk first?
Okay, I guess I didn't hear you answer.
Oh, okay. So, I don't think so, because if we were completely controlled, then I feel like, we had no voting. We wouldn't have guns. We wouldn't be able to do the things we want whenever we want, or the things we like. Mm. And because like right now, like, and these are extreme examples I'm about to say. You're allowed to be, a big fat racist. You're allowed to be a pedophile. Like, some of these things are really bad that should be controlled, but they're not. Mm-hmm. You can go shoot as many guns as you want wherever, like, in a controlled environment. Mm-hmm. You can buy all the alcohol in the world. You can buy all the food in the world. You can, there's so many things we can do. And if it was a true, like 1942, like if it was a true controlled government, we would be told what to do all the time. Mm.
So what party would you identify with?
Oh no, I'm not a party. I hate both sides, because they're just lobbyists.
No, I mean, like, not necessarily party, but like which way would you say you lean, more left or right?
I am for open-mindedness, which is mostly liberal. But the Green Party is smarter too. So, I was always liberal too. Like, but I feel like it's every year, every fucking meme I see, I go towards Green Party more. But the Green Party isn't perfect either. I feel like there isn't a party that I identify with that 100%, and I don't think there's anyone that should identify with a party 100%, even though there are the hard lefts and the hard rights that no matter what they say, they're going to identify with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm open-minded to I'm more for like European countries where you have to vote for everything. I would like that.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. I know. So I guess I would have to say that my family tends to be more conservative. But I myself, I would say, I don't know. I did not think about, I mean, like the whole political thing for like the longest time, but then I think what was it? I think high school in like the government class, they kind of like defined some of the parties. Who was my teacher? It was Mr. Bingham?
Was that lady?
No. Like the one that I remembered that I liked a lot. I think it was Mr. Bingham.
Oh yeah,
just so the chill,
yeah. Everyone had Bingham.
the coolest
I think,
guy.
for government.
But like
Yeah.
So I think when we got to that part of the class, like what was he told us who he liked, and when he broke down like what that group was all about, I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. So I guess he identified with like the Libertarian Party.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So less government,
But also,
more yourself.
yeah. The Ron Swanson Party.
Yeah. Which that sounded appealing to me at the time, but yeah. No, but I would definitely say like maybe, I mean, I don't think there's a perfect system out there, but I would prefer that the government was a little less hands-on, more of an enforcer than anything. But
And some people would say, "Oh, I don't think they should be an enforcer."
well, I mean, like, but leave it to the people.
But then then we can get into a giant hole of like, well, federal or state, like who actually is in charge?
I'm speaking at like just very, very loose general terms because like I don't want to get into it because honestly I don't really care for the whole political thing. It's just exhausting.
I'll say it once again. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
To us, because we are just normal people and have no money.
Yeah. I mean, like, generally speaking, a lot of that stuff doesn't really affect the way we live outside of like some ancillary things that we don't generally notice either way. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It hurts my head thinking about it.
It's just as a human race, we are not responsible enough to do this government thing. At the end of the day, we're just like you said. There's a lot of good people. There's also a lot of bad people. There's a lot of shitty people, and then we're not able to make a reasonable choice for government. Maybe in 200-300 years when we have evolved a little bit, maybe we will be. People are so afraid of utopia, but at some point that's where we're headed.
Or we're all gonna die.
Look, 100 years ago, women couldn't vote, and now they can. That's a good thing.
Yeah, progress. I don't know. I feel like we're slowly figuring things out. So maybe one day, but for now,
slowly is a fucking understatement.
Very
dude.
slowly, with giant steps backwards on occasion. But
just the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's been an eye opener. But
yeah, and I'm glad that you say you're a libertarian because libertarians are they're strong people and sometimes they're a little stubborn, but they are not like it's like.
I would not.
They have a sense of reality. That's my most like favorite part of it, and I would never say I'm a libertarian because I do believe in government programs.
I would say,
and I wish they were more funded.
I was like, I wouldn't identify as a libertarian. It's just I agree with a certain amount of the stuff. That's on their platform.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say you're a libertarian. I'm just saying,
But
those are good. There are good things about it, but there are also bad things about it.
No, I mean, there's nothing's perfect, but I would say for politics, I wouldn't be opposed to saying you can cherry pick the things you like.
I know, like a cafeteria.
Yeah.
I wish, like I said, I wish we can vote on everything.
Yeah.
Then it'd be a true democracy.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Question 9, and it's we're going on the deep end here, buddy.
Oh, okay.
Is there a limit to free speech, or should anybody be allowed to say anything they like?
Well, I definitely believe in free speech, but
So I believe you can say whatever you like, but the second you make threats on someone to make bodily harm, I'm not saying you should be arrested, but you should definitely be, investigated for.
Right.
Because I can't say I want to hurt someone without repercussions. That's just how the world works.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly. If there is no, I guess if there's, say what you want, as long as there's no like. I don't know. It's a slippery slope when you start talking about. Speech for people.
Honestly, you can say whatever you want.
Right.
But like, don't call to action that you want to hurt someone.
It's when,
call to action that you want to be supportive of someone, but don't call to action. Hey, we should go around this guy's place and fuck around with him. That's not right. You're infringing on someone's safety and privacy.
It's when you get into aggressive action. When you start motivating aggressive action with what you say, I would say that's probably a fine place to put a line. But another thing about the free speech thing, I'd be like, I'm totally fine with you saying whatever opinion you want, just like to my face, but don't be surprised if I don't agree with you or I don't.
Yeah, and I'm allowed to do my free speech.
I would say, don't get. I mean. Everybody takes offense to this stuff, but I mean, like, don't be surprised if I say something in return that you don't agree with because I don't agree.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right? No, I totally agree with that, and that's how it should work.
It's like you're saying, it's that escalation thing where it starts turning into action a bit. That's where it's like,
yeah, if you are at fault for someone getting hurt because of what you said, there should be some punishment.
Right.
Or if you are saying, let's go to this person's house and beat him up, you are calling for
example.
You should you should be punished for that. But for the most part, say whatever you want because that's your right.
No, nobody cares anyway.
It's just funny. Most people who say, "Oh, we have this right," blah blah blah. You don't even. If you want to say all your rights, you got to say them all. I need you to memorize the Constitution. I need you to say everything, so that I know you're intelligent enough to make those decisions.
Okay.
All right. Question number 10.
Number 10.
How do you deal with information or evidence that contradicts a belief you hold strongly?
Cite your sources. We're excited, man. That's why they include that page on your papers.
I mean, all right. Well, let's say those people that don't believe in vaccines, their works cited is one article that they read from some doctor who was banned from practicing.
Well, I mean, there you go. They were banned.
I know, but they're so. They believe it because they think even the media and all the doctors and all these pharmacies are trying to make money off of them.
Well, that's kind of like what I was saying earlier about like the pouty kid in the corner. It's just they're stubborn about a thing and they don't want to give it up, despite like what all the evidence says around them.
I'll listen to whatever someone has to say, and if they change my mind, cool. But I feel like I don't have much to change my mind to.
I mean,
Like, I don't believe in I don't believe in hardcore
right.
stuff. Like, I'm just a generally, like, let's libertarian or green party, like, things that make sense. Obviously, like, things that make sense to me may not make sense for someone else. But then in a day, like, we go back to that other question. We should take care of each other.
Yeah. But I don't know, David. At nearly 30 years of age, are you feeling you're pretty set in your ways?
Oh, my ways as a person, yes, but that's because I just don't give a shit about government. I really don't.
But that's just
I literally like my friends get mad at me who vote. Your vote doesn't matter. That's what I believe in.
well.
Because we live in a very weird state, California. It's blue in general presidential election, but when it comes to like county wise and city wise, we're red. How does that make sense?
I mean, just to
Because they don't vote. People aren't going out and voting, but it doesn't matter. The people with money are the ones in control. I'm a firm believer in that, and that will always be the way it is. That's how this has been set up.
Okay. Well, putting politics aside, what about just like an opinion in general?
And what?
I said,
what? Say that? Opinion?
I said putting politics aside, what about if just an opinion in general, unrelated?
Oh, like
what?
I need an example.
Okay.
That's like something mundane, like, oh, this is the best beer in the world. No, this is.
Well,
like
I mean, that's one example you could pick.
I mean, when it comes to that, then it's just based on taste profile and how do you like your beers. But I guess I would need a different opinion.
Just a conflicting opinion. Like, what if someone was like, I don't know, like really on a kick with stouts or something, and you weren't, and then they brought this one that they were a big fan of, and they were trying to win you over.
That's the worst thing you can say. Because
I'm just saying, like, just pick your least favorite drink, and then pretend someone really liked that drink.
Oh, I would try it, and I would try to taste what they taste. But at the end of the day, if it comes down to my own taste profile, and that's not an opinion, that's like just your biology. Like, you taste things different from someone else. Like you and me, tasting is different. Like I was a smoker for like 5 years, so I've lost most of my taste.
Okay.
And you haven't, because you haven't smoked for 5 years and ruined your lungs and your taste.
Well, okay. Well, say it's about something that you don't have to ingest in any way. Like someone.
Like Marvel
like
movies
someone's
are
trying to
good.
bring you around on a movie.
I would watch it and then I'd be like, I would give my opinion, but I would listen to, oh, didn't you like this? Didn't you like that? And then I would say no or yes or argue my opinion. I would go and watch it. I would educate myself.
That's the point I'm trying to make. I would say I would take recommendations, but then I would delve into a thing myself and make my own opinion.
Yeah. I mean, and I will 100% say, hey, I'm wrong, because at work, I say a lot of good things or right things, but I also make mistakes, and I learn from someone who knows more than me, because they're a expert, or more of an expert than I am in the field.
Right. Well, good. At least you're saying you're not afraid to be educated by yourself or something else.
I would never be afraid of that, because I want to be better in my profession or as a person overall.
Everything could be an opportunity for improvement.
Everything should be an opportunity for improvement.
Good words.
Question 11. How much
11.
information do you need before you believe something someone says? Does it depend on how much you trust that person or how intelligent you think they are?
I'll say it's a combination of what I know about that person, how much I trust them, and about how much I care about the thing they're talking about. If it's something kind of inconsequential, maybe I'll just give it to them without really thinking about it. But yeah, I would say definitely being familiar with the person would affect how much credit I give them in the things they say. But you're crazy if you don't think I would be investigating stuff.
I would say if there's an expert, they know more than me, cool. But then I'll go Google it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll try to get my info on it.
Right. If I would say if it's anything that I would be even remotely interested in knowing a thing about, I'll hear him out, but I'm still gonna do my own digging on the side. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's how the world should work, period.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like, you say a lot of stuff, David, and I trust you, but don't think for a second that I wouldn't second guess something that you said.
That's because I'm brilliant.
Well, you definitely have thoughts.
Well, that's just because I am a very opinionated person.
Yeah, and I'm
let it go over your head.
I just let a lot of stuff roll over. I'm like, it's whatever.
You were saying about educating yourself.
Like I will trust another person's opinion if it's someone I'm close to, but even then, if it's something I am even remotely interested in, I will research it on my own.
Yeah, I mean, we can take this to the basic form, like, hey, that restaurant is really good. All right, David, I'll try it. Or like, hey, Jesus just woke up. He's right there. I see him. Will you believe me, Sam, or will you go Google it?
Well, yeah, I'd probably Google it, actually.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, I'm just like that serious.
It depends. It depends on the severity of a thing. Otherwise, it's like, hey, man, I got cinnamon rolls at this one place, and they were pretty good. And I'm like, oh, yeah? I'll have to check that out.
I know, but at the end of the day, it's like, if you trust someone, yeah, you're gonna believe them a little bit more, but you should go educate yourself. If someone's more intelligent about a subject, an expert, you should go and believe them, but you should still go find out the information for yourself.
Verify for yourself.
Yeah.
You'll definitely have. I'd be more inclined to believe something you said, but yeah, I would definitely say you should do some research on your own.
All right, last question.
Okay.
And this is really short.
All right.
Is there such thing as a truth?
Like in the Full Metal Alchemist sense, or like?
All right, so I'll answer this very easily.
Okay.
The truth is, how would you say it? Not your opinion, but it doesn't matter what truth is or what a lie is, because everyone's gonna believe what they believe. Like like that Donald Trump thing. Like, oh, if he smoked crack, would you still vote for him? I mean, you shouldn't, but yes. Like some people said yes. Versus like, hey, there is a fossil in the ground that we just found, and dinosaurs are there. And is that the truth? Well, science proved it, but it's not. The truth is just a word we gave something. But people are going to believe the real truth. They're not going to believe it. It's based on that person.
Right. I'll say. I would believe in factual truths, stuff that can be proven. But even then, I would say those are temporary truths, because stuff can always be proven wrong.
Yeah, and also evolution is a thing. So we evolve as people. We change. The world changes. But dinosaurs are real. I'm not saying they're not real. They are real.
No. If they're not alive, they don't exist, David. Maybe they're from Mars.
You sound arrogant, Sam.
No, I'm just open-minded.
That's ignorant, Sam.
Believe
that's ignorance.
That's ignorant. You shouldn't be so ignorant.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
no, that's ignorance.
No, you have to watch some of that.
Fuck, that was funny. I mean, yeah, the truth. the word truth itself is not even the word for it. Like real truth. I'll say this: the real truth is it's 5 million years ago, where an animal has to eat another animal to survive, and that animal dies, and that animal lives. That's the real truth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I could say you could easily swap the word truth for answer, and those I could say that those probably mean the same thing to me, but answers change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, people won't like the answer you like or you say.
I mean that there are some truths that you will not like when you find them or hear them.
Like Kobe Bryant assaulting someone.
Wow. All right.
No one in LA wants to hear that.
Well, especially now.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that's fresh.
Rest in peace, man. That's a terrible way to go, and with his daughter too. Like that. I mean, you don't wish that on anyone, and you really hope that never happens to anyone, no matter how much you don't like them or no matter how much you like them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's a good note.
COVID-19, we will defeat you.
All right, buddy. Anything else?
No, that's it, sir.
That's it? All right. Well, thank you for sitting in with us.
Yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.
Yeah, listening to us talk nonsense for another hour plus. Keep it going. All right. Keep drinking, keep listening.